Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I think I look best in the dark, don't you? My hair looks like Diana Ross's in the 70s, and it was all... Anyhow, whatever. At least you can't see the bird perching on my fever blister right now. I am coming at you for one reason, really, and it's about the Second Amendment. Now, listen, I am not going to get into a debate about the Second Amendment, but I am going to say something I want you to think about. Okay, what upsets me about things is how people can't see clearly what's going on here. Most people, like in the alternative world or whatever, I heard somebody call it something that I thought was good, alternative research or something. Anyhow, most people who, like us, kind of strange people that, that hang out with a woman on her porch. I'm sorry. Anyhow, you're not strange. You know that I admit to being strange. At any rate, most of us realize, most of us who, aren't glued to the mainstream media or don't toe the corporate line and all that, are pretty much aware of, like, the agenda of those in charge or whatever, to sort of make us fight and hate each other and to roll around the ground. And, there's, agent provocateurs, I just like saying that, that often get involved, like, say that you're at a rally or something, and I don't know, some group, the Pickle Makers of America is there to protest, and then somebody does something hideous in the pickle growers group, and therefore the pickle growers get a bad name. But it was all planned by the onion growers of America or something, or some competition. Do you understand what I mean? Probably not. Going back to the earliest times, ladies and gentlemen, like, we'll just say the 60s. That's not the earliest time, but people were planted in organizations to, cause a stir, to make, like, the anti-war movement look bad and things like that. Most people accept that, but they seem to go off the rails when it's sort of clear that that's also the game plan of those claiming that everybody wants to take guns away. And then, this stirs up something too. Is it a possibility even? Now, please listen before you comment. Is it a possibility that this arguing over the Second Amendment and, don't put any gun laws in or whatever the case may be, is there just a shred, just a little bit, just maybe a small chance that that is also a way to keep people divided, ladies and gentlemen, is to have this fight over the Second Amendment? You know damn well, as I do, better than I, there's nothing going to go on with that Second Amendment. Do you know why? Because the big gun manufacturers have an excellent front group called the NRA that does their lobbying and their bidding for them and all that. There are two huge lobbies in our government, ladies and gentlemen. The NRA and AIPAC. I believe AIPAC is number 1 and NRA is number 2. So, the point I'm trying to make here, maybe not doing it so eloquently, because I just don't understand how a group of people can be totally against corporations, totally against the elite, totally against how our politicians are all owned, and then on the other hand, they're screaming to the defense of the NRA all the time. Although the NRA is going to come out with something like they're okay with some regulation with something called a bump stock. I don't even know what it is, but evidently that's causing a stir as well. Now, people are mad at the NRA for saying it's okay to regulate this bump stock or whatever it's called. Sounds like a dance we used to do back in the 80s, but that was just the bump, ladies and gentlemen. So, anyhow, just can you maybe give that a thought? Is this bickering over the Second Amendment maybe, just maybe, a possibility, a slim chance that it is something put in play by the elites, the Illuminati, the hidden hand, the 1%, the hidden shadow government, whatever you want to call them, to keep us fighting more? Is that possible? Because here's my deal. It's have at it, Hoss, or whatever. If you're upset about the Second Amendment, that's fine. Go for it. But why is nobody, well, when I say nobody, it's not mentioned nearly as much as the Second Amendment. The Fourth Amendment. Take a look into the Fourth Amendment. It has been gone forever, and nobody seems to care. They're all too busy clutching pearls thinking the Second Amendment's going to go away. If the Second Amendment goes away, I will literally, I don't want to do anything that will gross you out, I was going to say go get the paper and the nude, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to scare traffic. Plus, I don't even get a paper delivered here anymore. What good would that do? Walk downtown? It just won't, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because the politicians are owned by the big gun lobby. That's why. No, I'm not saying anything good or anything bad about the Second Amendment. I'm just pointing out where the bear moved his bowels in the particular, I don't know, the particular, I can't think, crop they were growing. I couldn't think of the word crop. Oh my God. So, yeah, that's all. And also, okay, I want you to think about this for a minute. Please don't jump on me. Okay, back in the day when the framers of the Constitution were doing all this jazz. Let me put this in a different way. Hang on. Do you think that any, let's say a big corporation, would put something in their bylaws that would allow the employees to revolt and turn over office furniture and burn the building down? Do you think so? Think about that for a minute. So, I mean, because I hear all the time about how the Second Amendment was put into play so we could fight against big government or something, or if government gets out of hand, we can, I don't know, mow them down or something. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, that's not even possible in this day and age. My weapons that I own, and I don't handle very well, so I don't get near them a whole lot. Anyhow, my weapons that I do own, ladies and gentlemen, are not going to be any kind of defense against a drone or something coming in. Or just, you know, all kinds, like chemical warfare and all this jazz. Do you really think, honestly? I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to get into trouble, but have you ever researched other reasons why the Second Amendment was put into play? Ever? I can direct you to a good article about the NRA in general, and it does hit on the Second Amendment. It's called How the NRA Changed the Second Amendment. Now, I will tell you this. They used to be really, I don't know, outdoor-minded. And then around the 1970s, there was somewhat of a coup d'etat, in that organization where people of a more extreme kind of way of thinking and backed by big gun money took over. And, in fact, a friend of mine had been a member, I think, and it was coming up for renewal in the 70s, and he did not renew again because they had changed to this other bizarre thing. Look, I'm not saying anything bad about the Second Amendment, but I am curious as to why people think that anybody framing a constitution would make an allowance so that the citizens would be allowed to rise up and murder them. That sounds weird to me. There are reasons why the Second Amendment was put into play, but I'm going to leave that up to you to research, because I'm probably in trouble already just for talking about this. But, you know, I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be gentle. I'm not against the Second Amendment. I'm fine with it, actually, you know. I used to be a little more, like, really, like I was an NRA member and stuff. And then I got away from that for some of the reasons I just mentioned. And then I was a little bit more, I don't know, I was gun control-ish, I guess. And now I'm just not sure where I stand on it, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, because some people do make good points. As long as the U.S. military is allowed to have Weapon X, then the citizenry should be allowed to as well. So I try to think of that. I'm not some ardent supporter of, you know, either way. I guess I'm all right with it. I just wish people would focus more on the First Amendment, first of all, and the Fourth, which is totally gone. So can you do that for me? Can you please just, I don't know, listen to this video a second time through if you must, because I want to be clear that I'm not sitting here saying anything terrible about... Here's the thing. You know, with every president that came in, it's like they're going to take our guns. I've been hearing that forever. They were certain Obama was going to do it. Who benefits from this, ladies and gentlemen? Who benefits from a constant threat of this or that president is going to take our guns away? Could it maybe be the gun manufacturers? Maybe? Don't the gun sales go up? Didn't they go up after this Vegas thing? Yeah, they did. So I'm done. Whatever. Actually, if you're mad at me, what can I do about it? I'm not gonna stop having an opinion because certain people get all pissed off and clutch their pearls. I'm just not. That's not my style. I've already reined in a lot of the stuff that I would normally say here because I want to be inclusive and friendly and not sit here and say rude stuff about people. I mean, clearly, not that I would normally do that and I have to rein myself in from that, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to be very fair and open-minded. Plus, some of the articles and stuff I've read over the years, I don't even know if they're true anymore. I barely know what's true and false anymore. But I will tell you, I'm very suspicious that any head of a corporation would put in their bylaws that their employees are allowed to revolt, turn over office furniture, and burn the building down. Clearly, that's a reference to the Second Amendment being used to turn against the government and shoot them. Love you. Just thought I'd let you know that in case you didn't get the clue. Lounging with Lisa, the video series has me lounging while coming out your thoughts of the day. Please join me, join others. Drop your political identities. Let's focus on issues. Leave labels at the door. Research before you judge, and I'll see you tomorrow at 2:30. Love you so. I might do a morning video. Who knows? Love you. I hope you understand my point of this. I really do. Okay. Bye.